Neha, you can start.
Hello and welcome Toastmasters and beautiful guests to episode 4 of Evaluation Mastery, the last episode of the season. I am Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Neha, and I would like to begin by stating the mission of our Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Some rules to be respected during the session are: number 1, all attendees must mute their audio at all times unless instructed otherwise by the moderator. Number 2, do not share your screen unless asked by the host. Number 3, please ensure that any noise-making devices around you are kept on silent so that they do not disturb the meet. To do the same, you have 10 seconds. Thank you. For further proceedings, I hand over to the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Pavni. Toastmaster Pavni is from USP Orators Toastmasters Club from past 2 years. She is into farmer by profession and loves reading and gardening. She served club as VP Education and VP Membership, and now she is the VP peer of USP Orators Club and PQ Focal for Division G. And now I hand over to the presiding officer for today, that Toastmaster Pavni. Over to you.
Thank you, Neha. Very good morning, everyone, and welcome all district officers, Toastmasters, and my dear guests. Happy to have you all here today on Saturday morning. In view of the contest season, in order to answer all the questions we had, like how could I draft a humorous speech, how to evaluate the speech by test speaker, how the breakout rooms are created, because this is all the virtual scenario, our PQ team has come up with a great plan to help all of us understand everything about humorous and evaluation speech contest. So as a part of this, we have already conducted 3 episodes for now. Episode 1 was on evaluation mastery and session on how to prepare for humorous speech contest. Episode 2 was on evaluation mastery and an education session on speech evaluation. We conducted episode 3 as a panel discussion on evaluation mastery with evaluation champions participating from different districts. We received inordinate responses for all the 3 episodes, and thanks for all the active participation from Toastmasters and guests. Today, we are going to present the final episode for the season, episode 4 of Evaluation Mastery. So this is going to be a replica to that of the final evaluation contest. We have a test speaker giving a 5 to 7 minute speech, followed by evaluation speech by 5 evaluators. We have a great opportunity to witness the master evaluation as a feedback to the evaluators by our master evaluator. We will have a Q&A session and a closing address by district officer. To take this session forward, I would like to invite Toastmaster, who is currently an engineering student, who served as a secretary and VP Education of Kite Toastmaster Club, and now serving as PQ Focal for F3. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Subhash, who is the Master of Ceremony for the session today. Welcome, Toastmaster Subhash, and stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani. Please confirm me whether I am clearly audible and visible.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Thanks for the confirmation. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Subhash, the moderator of the 4th and the final episode of Evaluation Mastery 2021. Evaluation at Toastmasters is a test of both listening and speaking. we have to listen carefully and provide constructive feedback. As a part of Evaluation Mastery, as our presiding officer mentioned, we have done 3 episodes so far. So if you haven't attended them, don't worry, we got you covered. Check out these episodes on our YouTube channel. Now, feedback is a breakfast of champions. And to make this meal happier, we have a Justful trainer today with us, who by their experience going to share some wholesome advices that will add punch to our evaluation. He is a university gold medalist in his bachelor's and master's degree. Started his career with Hindustan Unilever Limited. Later, he moved into HTC as a general manager. He is an author, past division governor, accredited coach, and an NLP practitioner. Put your hands together for our trainer, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar, for taking up the role of Master Evaluator. It is an honor to have you. Let us begin by understanding the flow of the episode. We'll have a test speaker who will present a 5 to 7 minute speech that all the evaluators will be evaluating. When the test speaker finishes, the Sergeant at Arms will escort all the evaluators into the breakout room, where they will have 5 minutes of time to complete their evaluation. After the completion of evaluation, they will be escorted back into the main room according to their speech order. The order of speakers has been predetermined. After the completion of each contestant, there will be a minute of silence for the master evaluator to mark his feedback on the evaluator. Now, the timing guidelines has been guided to the contestants. Now I am going to again repeat the timing guidelines for the benefit of the guests. A green light will be shown at 2 minutes, yellow light at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red light will be shown at 3 minutes and will be remained till the conclusion of the speech. 30 seconds of grace time will be given on either side, and then followed by the master evaluator and followed by question and answer segment. With this said, let me introduce the test speaker for today's session, Toastmaster Janvi. Please help me welcome the test speaker for the day, Toastmaster Janvi Rampalli. I request Zoom Master to spotlight Toastmaster Janvi Rampalli. Toastmaster Janvi, could you please check your audio and video for one last time?
Check. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Check.
Timer,
Am I visible?
Yes.
I can see the timer cards.
Yes. Are we good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Janvi, failure. Toastmaster Janvi, over to you.
On a cool Sunday evening, I closed my eyes, wishing to make a successful attempt. But mission I Impossible failed again. The next day, I found myself lying on the hospital bed and the doctor speaking to my parents. We tried very hard to save your daughter, and she is now out of danger. All had a sigh of relief, but I was thinking, did I just miss it? Did I just fail at dying? Oh, my dear contest chair and audience, do you also fail after doing a lot of hard work? Yes, then you need to know about me. 2012 to 2014 were the years of my life where I was studying 18 hours a day. Yes, it's harder to believe, but I was studying 18 hours a day in order to crack my goal of IIT Chennai. May 1st, 2014, the results of the engineering entrance exam were out. 30 minutes later, my dad came back with a result sheet in his hand and thrown at my face and said, "Your rank is of 5 digits. You are not eligible for engineering." With that, he left the room. "I told you before, she can't do it," said my mother. Everyone started advising, consoling, and comparing me. And I was there, standing in disappointment, singing a song from the Three Idiots movie. "Give me some sunshine, give me some rain, give me another chance, I want to prove it once again." I started believing my hard work wasn't enough to get me a good rank. So I decided to work even harder. After great consideration and consultation, my parents decided to join me in electrical and electronic engineering in a women's college in Kakinada, so that I'll have 2 options: a job as an electrical engineer or a job as a software engineer in an MNC. 4 years later, I have completed my graduation, but didn't go through a single campus placement, while most of my friends had got placed in MNCs like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, etc., etc., etc. But this time, I was confident enough that my hard work will show me some success. And I got placed in HSBC Vizag in the next 5 months. Exactly 11 months later, November 2019, I was sitting in front of the person whom I thought would be the love of my life, my husband. With a long discussion, followed by my parents, his parents, me, him, everything, he stood up and said, "I can't stay with you. We are going to get divorced." With that, he left me. Although it was always I working hard enough to save this relationship, he took the privilege of rejecting me because he's a boy. And there, this time, I was standing there again, trying to sing the song, but the song wasn't coming out. 2 weeks later, on a Sunday morning, my dad received a call that we are going to meet the lawyer soon and everything is going to be finalized. Dad came to me with a question mark on his face, as every time he had. And he said, "What's wrong with you, Janvi?" Is the only unanswered question in my life. If I ask you to study, you don't get a rank. If I ask you to get a job, you don't get at the right time you have to. And I asked you to get married and stay happy, you come back home from your husband's house. What am I going to do with you now? With that word, he left me to inhale the hopelessness. That day, it wasn't my hard work that left me. It was my destiny. Failure due to hard work, I thought more practice will make it successful. But failure due to destiny, I didn't know what to do. At that moment, I dropped 26 pills of dopamine. Don't Google it. It's just sleeping pills. In a glass of water, and drank it to give up this failured life. Yet, my best buddy, named Failure, followed me not only through my life, but also to my death, and failed me once again. Then, suicide wasn't an answer, said my dad by opening the door and handed me a phone. Mr. Joy Behance, who was always there for me from the last 6 years of my BTech and the graduation life, and my college trainer started talking. Till now, you might have failed many times, but with this suicide, you have hurt me and your parents, Shanvi. Did you know? When you started walking, talking, jumping, you failed many times. But you Try it again. That's the reason why you're able to talk, walk, and jump today. And even in your engineering, when you failed, you took up a job and then started your career. That means you had a hope to take it forward. Why not do it? You try to do it in the case of this destiny also. That struck a bulb to me. That day, I started rediscovering myself and I took up the life as a challenge. In this challenge of my life, I want to go forward, living out this destiny, society, failure, and keeping only the positive aspects called the hard work with me. Today, a year and a half of continuous hard work later, I am an IELTS trainer, a life coach, and a leader in Toastmasters, a strong, independent daughter to my family, trying to stay back through my life. My dear friends, every time if life tries to knock you down, get up and say that you are a fighter, not a quitter. Over to you, Toastmaster Subhash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janvi. Now let us quickly move into the evaluations. So I request Zoom Master to please escort all the evaluators into the breakout room along with breakout room sergeant at arms and timer. Please let us know once it's done.
Evaluator Tribhavini and Sarjaram Toastmaster Neha, please join the breakout room. Sarjaram Toastmaster Neha, please join the breakout room.
Toastmaster Subhash, I think Neha is having maybe some technical issues. Toastmaster Lasya joined into the breakout room. Is it okay?
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth. Zoom Master, please let us know once the 5 minutes is done. So now let us get back to our test speaker, and there are a couple of questions which are waiting for her. So Zoom Master, please spotlight Toastmaster Janvi. I request Toastmaster Janvi to turn on her camera. Toastmaster Janvi.
Hello. Sorry, I wasn't able to hear you.
Yeah. So here is the first question for you.
Okay.
How was your experience as a test speaker? Please let us know.
It was exciting. I am actually wondering what will the evaluators say. I don't know. So it was good. It was good actually talking.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Janvi. And the second question is, one thing you always like about evaluation?
It's raw and it's cool that we will get to improve. So that is why I like it. And while being an evaluator, it's good because we can point out the mistakes of others without them being offended. That is the one thing that I like in evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janvi.
Thank you.
Now I invite our trainer Toastmaster Padma Kumar, and there is a question for him.
Sure.
Zoom Master, please spotlight distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar. Yes, thanks for that. Sir, here we are having only one question. One thing you always like about evaluation.
What I like about evaluation is that it helps me to improve as a speaker as well. Because many times it is not that whatever points I am noticing and pointing out, I am already perfect at. It gives me the opportunity to observe, analyze, and incorporate that in my speeches. And then during evaluation, if we also follow the tell and show, that is also demonstrating whatever suggestions we are giving, it's an opportunity for us to practice that good thing that we are suggesting. So that's what I really like about evaluations.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can I ask one more question?
Sure, please go ahead.
So how was your first experience when you are, how was your experience when you are contesting for the first time in evaluation contest?
So this was way back when I was working with Microsoft. And for me, the key was the area contained hubs like Microsoft, ISB, Infosys, and Virtusa. And it was considered one of the toughest areas. So the evaluation at Microsoft was, kind of okay. It went through. I was fairly confident that I would pass that stage. But at the area level, I really had a great challenge because each one of the evaluators from ISB, from Infosys, from Virtusa, they were top in terms of their skills. So it was a really great experience. And I learned quite a lot in practice in that contest.
Thank you, Padma Kumar, sir. So Zoom Master, please let us know how much time we have.
We have 2 more minutes.
Okay. So I am going to ask another question. So, whenever you are evaluating, what is your strategy as an evaluator?
So more than strategy, I think the intent is very important from my perspective. Because when the intent is pure, that you want to provide suggestions to the speaker, it comes through very clearly. There are people who do evaluations more to impress an audience than to really benefit the speaker. I understand that it is also necessary to impress the judges. But the predominant thing I'm looking for
MC, the 5 minutes are up. We can move forward.
Yes, I am facing a bit network glitch. Am I clearly audible and am I clearly visible?
Yes, you are perfectly audible and visible, but I think the super evaluator is facing some network issues. So he's disconnected from the meeting.
Yes. Am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, thank you. So is the contestant number 1 is back to the main room? Yes.
Not. And Zoom Master, please confirm the timer is in the main room. I think.
Yes.
Rajesh.
The timer is in the main meeting room.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Toastmaster Pawan Kumar, could you please check your audio and video for one last time?
Yes, Subhash. Actually, there is a power cut at my place and I joined through hotspot. So can you please confirm if I am clearly audible and visible?
Yes, you are clearly and audible and visible.
Perfect. Okay.
Are the timer cuts visible?
Yeah, yes, there.
Yes. Thank you.
Shall I start? Yeah, it's
MC,
good.
our supervisor, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar, is not in the meeting room.
Okay.
Let us wait for a minute.
Sure.
Zoom master, please confirm whether if he back to the meeting room.
Sure, we'll confirm once he joins back.
Yes. Can anyone please check with him in the meanwhile?
Yes, Subhash, you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, Shrikant.
Toastmaster Subhash, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar has joined the main meeting room.
Okay, I note yes. So contestant number 1, Toastmaster Pawan Kumar. Toastmaster Pawan Kumar, contestant number 1. Over to you.
Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and my wonderful target speaker, Toastmaster Jahnavi. After joining Toastmasters, my mentor once told me, Pawan, there are speeches which initiate a thought or belief on audience mind. And there are speeches which make the audience introspect. And there are speeches which go beyond these two elements and create an everlasting impact on audience mind. Well, today, as per my speech analysis, let's see where exactly my target speech lies in these three elements. I will use the conventional CRC approach. So to begin with the commendations, the things that I really liked in your speech, the first thing is the title and the opening. So with an intriguing title, Failure, and the opening vivid description of the scenery that you had on a Sunday evening, I mean, I was surprised where exactly you were leading me to. And I wanted to hear more from you from the word go. Kudos to you. And the second thing that I really liked in your speech is the transition. As you have multiple stories in your speech, it is very important to have transitions in your speech, and you have done a great job on you. So when you said, so you used before starting the first story, you asked the audience, "Do you also feel like me?" Well, let's hear my story. So that is a transition line. And also in the second story, you sing a song. You sang a song like "How to Convince Your Parents." So that is also I felt is a transition line. So likewise, your transitions are on the point, and kudos to you on that, Jahnan. And the third thing that I really like the most, and my favorite, is the delivery. So when I talk about delivery, so it includes all the things like you used the property and you used hand gestures very wisely, and also your voice modulation. So these things are all apt, and these things literally added a value and a great added value to your stories and a great support. So kudos to you. And the final thing that I really liked in your speech is the simple structure that you followed. So you opened a speech with a scenery, and you started with the entire body. You used the chronological order to explain your stories. So kudos to you on that. So please allow me to give some recommendations now. First thing is emphasizing on the purpose, like your purpose, and also effective utilization of the title. So as you have the title as a failure, and you wanted everyone to try harder even if you fail, probably you can use at multiple instances. So that is something that I have only listened from you at the conclusion. Probably you can use at the instances like when your father asked, I asked you to study, but you failed. I asked you to marry, but you failed to sustain the relationship. I asked you to get the job, but you failed. So when you use these kind of emphasizing on the purpose, that will make an audience very clear. So the second thing I have for you for the recommendation is using a proper logic, because in one of the sentence that you told, so I try harder, but it is not about the, I failed because of the destination, though I had try harder. But at the conclusion, you said, now I try harder and get whatever position I am. So that is something I felt that logic is missing. The third thing is probably you could work more on the emotion part, just the pauses. I could find only emotion in the second story, but not in the first and the third story. So to summarize, with a great title and the opening, you initiated a thought on the audience. With a great delivery, you make the audience introspect. Probably if you emphasize on purpose and use the logic, I think you will definitely create an everlasting impact. Over to you, Subhash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pawan Kumar. Now let us have a minute of silence. Timer, please let us know once the minute is done. Thank you, timer. Zoom Master, could you please confirm me whether the contestant number 2 is in the main room? Yes. Please place spotlight on her. Yes. So Toastmaster Santoshi, could you please check your audio and video for one last time?
Am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Are the timer cards visible? Are the timer cards visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Thanks for the confirmation. Are we good to go?
Yes.
Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Santoshi. Toastmaster Santoshi, contestant number 2. Over to you.
On a cool Sunday evening, lying on a bed and thinking, did I just miss it? I'm really connected to this point of thought. Because today, this morning, on this cool Saturday morning, I woke up and I was thinking, should I give it a try or just leave it? And I'm totally connected to that takeaway you have mentioned. A very good morning to all the Toastmasters and especially Toastmaster Jahnavi. What an incredible speech. Let me divide my evaluation into 3 parts. The failures you have succeeded and the things you need to work on, followed by what you have excelled in a whole. The first thing, what are the milestones you have reached through that fight? The 3 milestones mentioned in your speech were crystal clear, like the IIT preparation after the intermediate and the engineering, attempting to the campus interviews at that point of time, and the final one, the love of your life. These are the 3 milestones you have taken us through. What are the obstacles you have faced there and how you have overcome? And the second one is, I have enjoyed the way you started your speech by posting a question like, do you also fail after a long workout? That just gave a thought like, I was just thinking, did I ever think of this? Did I ever try after continuous failures? This is the way like you have attracted me towards your speech, to listen to your speech. And the third one is, you are crystal clear while explaining. The pace of the speech is very clear that we are able to understand each and every single word of your speech. However, there are few battles which you need to fight more. to win those. The first thing is like, as you mentioned, the 3 milestones. In the first milestone, you mentioned how hard you work. That is, work for 18 hours a day. And even then, you faced a failure. And coming to the second milestone, you mentioned that my friends have gone through different placements and I'm waiting. But I'm waiting for what you have tried, how you have tried to reach out that particular milestone. I miss that supporting point. And the second thing is like, I'm waiting for some characterizations. When you told that Joy, sir, told this point, why don't you believe yourself? I'm just waiting for that characterizations. If you could make it as a conversation rather than telling it as a story, it would add more impact to your speech. However, it's really an awesome speech, and I have learned that, I have came to know that after a continuous failures of your life, you are now an IELTS trainer, life coach, strong daughter, which is a big achievement, and we are here happy to have you on this stage. To summarize, awesome structure and the clear examples, and the introduction was crystal clear. If you could work on the explanation of the milestones and the development of the characterizations, it would add much value, and I'm sure you will fight all your battles throughout this journey. Looking forward to hear more speeches from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santoshi. Now let us observe a minute of silence. Thank you, timer. Now I request Zoom Master to please spotlight evaluator number 3. Toastmaster Bhavini, could you please check your audio and video for one last time?
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Am I properly audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Are the timer cards visible?
Not yet.
Now?
No.
Timer, could you please stop the screen and reshare the screen?
Actually, we can see it. Red,
Okay.
yellow.
Yeah, I changed the blue and now I
Yeah.
can see it. Yes.
Yes. Are we good to go?
I can see a blue screen right now. Is that fine?
Yes. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Bhavini. Toastmaster Bhavini, contestant number 3. Over to you.
Failures are the stepping stones to success. We all have read and written this proverb 100 times while growing up. But today, master evaluator, moderator, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, Toastmaster Janvi made me live through this proverb. How, you ask? That failing at dying, that was her first stepping stone. Then failing at engineering and not getting a good rank, second stepping stone. Third, getting a divorce. And fourth, attempting suicide. The purpose was as loud and clear as was Janvi. And what I loved the second most thing that I loved about her speech was that she asked these excellent questions. Like, have you given your best and tried so hard, but still failed at things in life? And when your parents ask you, what do I do with you? What's wrong with you? These are the questions that we have all heard some or the other times in our life. So very relatable questions and very loud questions asked, which made us resonate with you while also retrospect our lives when you were telling about your journey. In terms of delivery, you are a speaker that exudes confidence. So that was the best part. You also had excellent usage of pauses and pitch modulation to make us feel the highs and lows point of your life. What I also loved is that your excellent gesticulations combined with great expressions just lifted the speech up. What I also loved is the usage of couple words sometimes in your speech, like consideration and concentration. I chose electronic and electrical engineering. So that was a great usage. I also love the usage of your phrases, like I inhaled the hopelessness, I struck a bulb, and I rediscovered myself. Now, let's talk about the points that can make the speech even better. First, your purpose, that when life knocks you down, give a fight and stand up and just succeed. That was loud and clear. But this entire speech was your story, Toastmaster Janvi. So in conclusion, which is something that is going to stay with me once you're gone off the stage, I felt like your story was missing. So what you could have done is, in your conclusion, you could have told how you are knocking life down and getting up and going through the struggles in your life right now, which I think was missing. So when a next failure strikes you, what is your mindset? That is something that would have added the weight to the message. And the second thing is that your story was such a roller coaster ride. A constant eye contact with the audience would have made us engage throughout, but the eye contact was, missing at certain places because you were reading the scripts. So if you could maintain constant contact with the audience, that will ensure constant engagement with the audience. Overall, you are an excellent speaker who has mastered storytelling. So if you could make the adjustments of including your message in the conclusion and working on the eye contact, you will be a much better storyteller. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster. Now let us have a minute of silence. Thank you, timer. Is the contestant number 4 is in the main room? Yes. Toastmaster Lohita, could you please check your audio and video for one last time?
Am I audible, Toastmaster Subhash, and visible?
Yes, you are. Are the timer cards visible?
Yes, I can see them.
Yes. Are we good to go?
Yeah, sure.
Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Lohita. Toastmaster Lohita, contestant number 4. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Subhash. So I will start with the evaluation of our test speaker, Jahnavi. The first thing I want to say is I was actually very deeply involved with the story. The way she made eye contact, the way she used her appropriate gestures, appropriate pauses in between, and very appropriate pausing and, keeping stretches on particular words. When she want to, make the essence more impactful, she was making that deeply. I was actually mesmerized by the speech, and the way she sung the song. It is actually, a very good strategy, a very good technique that I would say, which can catch the audience attention. And the way the story flowed, the storytelling aspect of the speech is amazing. And everything was very smooth, very impactful. And I'm speechless for what mistakes I can point out in that speech. It was really amazing. But when we come to suggestions, one suggestion I would like to make is, if she can, I mean, she is very good, very frequent, very fluent with normal spoken English, but if she can use some idioms between the speeches, not many, but whenever it is feasible, whenever it is supportive, that could really be amazing. I mean, it could take her speech to the next level. That is what I would like to suggest her. Apart from that, the speech is flawless, fluent, amazingly drafted. The structure, the flow, it's superb. I mean, this is what we are striving for. There is no hesitation, there is no disturbance. Her voice is amazingly clear and loud enough for the audience to listen and to catch the the underlying meaning of it. And the message that she passed is very impactful. So yeah, this is my evaluation. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Subhash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohita. Now let us observe a minute of silence. Thank you, timer. Zoom master, could you please confirm whether the evaluator 5 is in the main room? Yes. Toastmaster Shivalila, could you please confirm, check your audio and video for one last time?
Yes, Toastmaster Subhash. Am I clear? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Are the timer cards visible?
Yes, I could
Are
see
we
all
good?
the cards. Now I think you're not displaying. Okay. Yes, yes, I could see.
Are we good to go?
Yes.
Contestant number 5, Toastmaster Shivalila. Toastmaster Shivalila, contestant number 5. Over to you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. First of all, I would like to thank Toastmaster Jahnavi for a wonderful speech. I would like to evaluate, Jahnavi, I would like to evaluate your speech into 3 parts, like by following CRC, commendation, recommendations, followed by conclusion. I could travel through your speech, like beginning from IIT, preparing from IIT to getting a job and becoming a successful person in the life. I could travel with you throughout your journey. I could visualize the hand gestures which you have shown it where it is important, like when your father thrown results paper on your face, there I could see your hand gesture. That is a proper way of showing. And also, like the way you expressed, like though we struggle in the life for banking IIT, but you could not do it. And again, you have been into electrical engineering and you could do it, and you did not get job in campus selection, but you try to get job in HSBC. And the way you have expressed everything, and with years, it's very good. And also the conclusion, when it comes to conclusion, because of the failure, like after getting divorced, you were exhausted and you thought of ending your life. That time, when you opened your eyes, you were on the hospital bed. That time, you got a call from Toastmaster Joy. It was like interesting. Okay, then they told that life is a lesson. You need to learn from each and every step. Okay, from childhood, how you learn speaking, jumping, and walking. So like this also, if you fail, then also we have to face that and take it challenging and move forward. That way, that thing you explained very clearly. And when it comes to recommendations like what I feel, whenever there is a question tag, punctuations, so that time, like there was no pause, like there was no differentiation between the question and the normal speech. I felt in that way. And also the conversation between your father and you, there was no voice modulation much, I have observed. And also between Joy and you, there was no much voice modulation. And when your husband said he wants to divorce, that time also voice modulation was not there. Okay, these are the recommendations. When come to conclusion, your speech was very good with only few recommendations, what I have suggested. And overall, it went very good. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Subhash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivalila. Now let us observe a minute of silence. Thank you, timer. That brings us to the end of evaluations. Now, let us quickly shift our gears to the session which will add punch to our evaluations. For this, please help me welcome our Master Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar. Put your hands together to invite our trainer and Master Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar. Distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar, over to you.
Thank you very much. First off, I must say that the experience so far has been brilliant. I want to compliment, first of all, the speaker, brilliant speech. And today the focus is for me to look at the evaluations and provide inputs. I really feel that I'm missing a chance to provide a nice evaluation to such a brilliant speech, but that is besides the point. Now, when we look at the evaluation of the evaluators, first, I want to give some general overview in terms of all the evaluators and some of the things that we need to keep in mind when we do evaluations. And then I will go one by one to each evaluator and provide certain inputs as to what I observed. So that will be the format which we will follow today. When we look at evaluations, I can think of 5 different ways in which people generally evaluate. And I'm talking primarily about the Toastmaster environment, where I have seen some people who whitewash in an evaluation, which is essentially talking as if this is the best speech that they have ever heard in their life. And they have such superlatives to talk about the entire speech, and they constantly focus on all the things that happened in the speech as if it was, literally a speech from God, and that we can hardly give any recommendations. This is what I normally call a whitewash type of evaluation. Happily today, none of our evaluators had this kind of an approach. So that was point 1. Number 2 type of evaluation that we get to see is what is called blackballing, which is exactly the opposite of whitewashing. In a blackball evaluation, essentially the evaluator keeps throwing things that did not work, or which was not appropriate, or which could have been changed. Everything is in terms of things that did not work or sucked in the speech, and that becomes the primary focus of the evaluator, which is the blackballing approach. Even for a not so great speech, a good evaluator will still have positive points to observe and provide, which is what Toastmasters teaches us. So again, blackballing is not a good strategy for evaluation, and none of the evaluators today had that kind of an approach, and I'm very happy with that. The third one, which normally we find, is person parroting whatever the speaker said. It almost is repeating that 7-minute speech within 2 minutes, with all the major points being listed one after the, you said this, and then you said this, and then you said this, and then you said this. It's almost like listening to the highlights of the speech, like what we watch on television, after a one-day match, we watch the highlights. It's almost like that. That also, none of the evaluators followed today. You did not parrot what the speaker said. The fourth thing is playing to the gallery, where the intent is not so much in terms of providing constructive inputs to the speaker, but more in terms of impressing the judges and the audience by using very flowery language, a whole lot of quotations, and a whole lot of actions, drama, etc., where the attention is taken away from the speech and the focus becomes the speaker's ability to really provide a great evaluation, which again is not in the spirit of Toastmasters evaluation. And I must say, none of our evaluators had that approach as well today. So all of these 4, whitewashing, blackballing, parroting, and playing to gallery, was not practiced by any of the evaluators. The 5th and the most appropriate, and the one that I got to see in all the evaluators today, was a balanced approach. And I think there was a fair balance in terms of providing both reinforcing inputs, what did the speaker do very well, and what the speaker can continue to do in future, which is the reinforcing inputs. And then there were the redirecting inputs, that these things potentially there is an alternative or possibly a better way to do it. So I think that balance was very well maintained. So first point, kudos to all the evaluators for taking a balanced approach. The second, as we know, there are multiple methods in terms of giving evaluations. CRC, of course, is a great way, which is the traditional way. But over time, people have also come up with newer ways of structuring the entire evaluation so that you add a little bit of jazz to it. I will mention a few of them that I liked, and perhaps you can think about it and see whether you can structure what you are providing as evaluation to the speaker in these buckets. One thing I've heard is these are the glow points, G-L-O-W, glow points, and these are the grow points, G-R-O-W. So anything that you want to reinforce, you put it under the glow. You say that you glowed when you did all of these. And if you do these things, you can grow even further. So this is one possible way of giving this, which is essentially saying what worked well and what can be improved, but giving some jazzy kind of a title to this whole thing. The other thing that I've heard, which also you may like to think about, is the HERO approach, HERO. The HERO stands for H is what I heard and saw. Very important to stick to what I, as an evaluator, saw and heard in the speech, right? Second, E is the emotions. What did I feel when I heard something that you said, or certain points of silence that you maintained? How did it touch me as far as emotions are concerned? That is the E. The R is the recommendations. Here are some things that I would like to suggest to you. Now remember that recommendations need not always be improvements. It could also be alternatives. Because basically, when you find that something is working well, you may not have an opportunity to say that, hey, this did not work. You can say potentially that this worked very well. Here is an alternative that I would like to recommend to you as well, which you could potentially use in some other speech. Okay, so R is the recommendations and O is the overview or the overall comments that you give. So this is another way in which I have seen this getting structured. So as far as methods are concerned, go beyond CRC when it comes to contest. Okay, and some judges are puritanical judges. They expect you to declare what method you are following. I am not one of those. I don't really expect that the evaluator tells me in advance what is the method that they are going to follow, but some judges have a preference for that. So keep that in mind when you contest. Now, as far as these suggestions are concerned for each of the evaluators, some of the suggestions that are providing may be applicable to more than just that evaluator. But I am pointing it out essentially from that evaluator speech because it stood out for me. Okay, so keep that aspect in mind, that recommendations are not unique and specific only to the evaluator that I am addressing at any point of time. If you think there is something you can take from that, please feel free to do that as well. Okay, with that preamble, now I am moving into providing evaluation inputs for each of the speakers. Are we good so far? Any questions so far? Yeah, okay, great. So let me start with Pavan.
Toastmaster Padmakumar, sorry for interruption.
Yes,
Just
please.
I would like to later, you can explain about the HERO approach for speech evaluation.
I can do it right away. HERO,
Okay.
HERO. HERO stands for what I heard and what I saw, right? When in your speech, I heard these, I saw these. Why is it important to say what I heard and what I saw? Because we don't want our internal biases to come in, right? When we hear something or when we see something, it is triggering a mental process in us. And if we are not on guard, our evaluation may also get colored by some of the mental processes that get triggered by what we heard and what we saw. But in an evaluation, it is very necessary for us to stick to what I heard, what I saw. In fact, I even recommend that we avoid saying the audience felt this, the audience was all laughing. You don't know, right? It's better to say I saw, I experienced this. That's an authentic way. And then, of course, the emotions. This is also very important because we know that we are not just talking to the intellect of the listeners. We essentially are talking to the soul of the listeners. And therefore, what are those emotions that I felt as I heard you speak is the E part of the HERO. HEE part is the emotions. R are the recommendations. Here are certain things that I would like to provide to you as recommendations. Again, what I mentioned earlier, recommendations are not only improvements, it can also be alternative suggestions. And then the O is your overview or the summary that you're providing. Is that clear, Toastmaster Shivlila? Okay, great. Now, can I move to Pawan's inputs? Okay. So, Pawan, I like the way in which you said there can be 3 types of impact that we can create with our speeches. That's a brilliant approach. And typically, when you take that approach, the first one and the second one, we know are not the ones that you feel. The third one will typically be the one that you feel, which is what I saw in your speech, therefore it worked for me. When you said that third one is the everlasting impact that we create with the speech, and you said the speaker created that for you. To my mind, that was a nice analytical kind of, if you had straightforward said, you know, your speech created everlasting impact, it would not have created that much impact. When you said these 2 alternatives and then the third everlasting impact, and you created that everlasting impact, it made a mark for me. You commented about the title and the opening, which is very good. You also talked about transitions with examples. That was brilliant. You didn't just say that I like the transitions. You also talked about how the speaker had used transitions in the first stage, the second stage. That was really very good. And you commented on the delivery and the simplicity of the structure. So overall, in terms of analytical, I would say it was 60% plus as far as analysis part is concerned. You can still do more, as you may have heard some of the other evaluators come up with certain points, which I will cover as well when I go along. And then when it comes to recommendations, you talked about emphasizing of purpose. And you gave a brilliant example to say, when I tried my engineering, I failed. When I tried to get a job in campus, I failed. When I tried out a marriage, I failed. So having that kind of a repetition of I failed, I failed, I failed will reinforce the topic of the speech. That was very nicely pointed out. I really liked that. And your overall summarization was also very good. Now, what you can potentially improve on is your Zoom presence. So you tend to have a very static way of, being there and presenting. Either, if possible, during the contest, stand and present, and as much as possible, use body language. Because Professor Meherbian, who did the research on communication effectiveness, told us that only 7% of our effectiveness is because of the words we speak. Only 7%. 38% is the tone of voice that we use. And if the tone of voice is not there, the words lose their effectiveness. And the last part, 55%, is body language. Now, unfortunately, we are not on a physical stage, and therefore we can't really exploit everything that we can do in terms of body language. However, within the limited space that we have available, which is a Zoom screen, try and use that to the maximum in terms of body language. But that's where you can really create the impact. So those are my inputs for you. So to each of the speakers, to Pawan and to all the other evaluators, if you feel that you need further discussion, feel free to reach out and we can obviously discuss much more in detail as well. Okay. Now, can I move to Santoshi now? Santoshi, second speaker. Okay, great. So what I loved about your starting, Santoshi, is you said, I heard, I saw, I connected, I took away. So right away, right in the beginning, you said such a beautiful framework in terms of saying, I'm going to talk about what I heard, what I saw, what I connected with, and what I took away. That was very brilliantly done. And you had, in one word, you just described what the speech was to you. It was incredible. And I think rather than using multiple adjectives or trying to use this triads, etc., it worked for me. When you said it was an incredible speech and it sounded very authentic, that you really felt it was an incredible speech. You talked about the IIT preparation, campus interviews, your marriage. So you kind of, helped us to recall. At the same time, you did not spend too much of time in parroting out whatever the speaker had done. That was also very well done. You said this made me think. At one point of time, you said this sentence of yours made me think. And then you shared what thoughts came into your mind. Right? That was also very well done. You also said towards the end that it was crystal clear to me after having listened to you in terms of the various things. It was crystal clear to me as to what you were trying to convey to us, which is that hard work is something that can take care of anything that we need to really do. When you talked about obstacles and overcoming obstacles, that part, to my mind, was something that can be improved. The obstacles did not really come out, though you said obstacles and how to overcome. That part of it did not really come through very powerfully for me. Also, from your Zoom presence perspective, you again, were kind of static in your position. It's possible that you can express a lot more if you use a little more body language and vocal variety. And when it comes to the suggestion that you had, that when you talk about joy, sir, you can, kind of the characterization can be a lot deeper. You can create a flavor of the characterization and use dialogue. Was a very good recommendation. I like that. And the key suggestion I have for you is try a little vocal acrobatics. Don't give it as a one tone kind of a thing. Try a little bit of vocal acrobatics. That's my recommendation to you. Now, moving forward to Bhavini. Bhavini, I think your background was fabulous. However, I would recommend that you position the cameras as that at least 70% of the real estate is taken by your face and your presence, right? Now, when it comes to evaluation, that's the recommendation that please try and see if, like right now, right now, it's a very nice proportion. Your face occupies more of the space than what it did during the time when you gave the evaluation. Only in speeches where you want to create some drama or you want to use the stage, it is good to stand slightly away from the camera and use that space. But in the case of evaluation, my recommendation is like your face or my face today, now it occupies almost 70% of the screen space available. Please try and do that because the focus has got to be on your facial expressions, on what you are showing on your face. And that will become difficult to see if you are slightly far away from the camera. So that is one recommendation that I have. You talked about living through the problem. I think that was a nice way in terms of saying living through the proverb. Living through the proverb, that was really good. And your expression saying how you ask. That was a very nice kind of a thing. For example, I've heard some speakers saying, I know that you have this question. You have this kind of a question. You are asking this kind of question, is it? Oh, thank you for asking. Though nobody would have asked that question, you're only asking that question, but you're appreciating the fact that that question may have come up with the minds of people, right? That's a nice way to provide that kind of an interactivity and say that, hey, I can kind of guess what you're thinking. And this is what you're probably thinking. And thank you for allowing me to talk to you further on that particular subject. So that was a nice usage. And you also appreciated the questions that were being asked. You had a call out to say that they were excellent questions. And I love the fact that you talked about those questions being relatable and loud. Loud, not from the voice perspective, but from the impact perspective. It had a loud impact, what was you were saying, and I really loved that usage. You talked about how the speaker was exuding confidence, and while you were saying that, I could see that you were also exuding confidence. So that was very well done. You talked about the pauses and the pitch modulation. You appreciated the speaker for the pauses and the pitch modulation. That was again very well observed and pointed out. You appreciated the use of language, right? There are several instances where the use of English, the way in which the speaker used English in a very elegant fashion was called out and appreciated. That was very nice. Now, you said from a recommendations point of view, you did not hear the speaker talk about what will the speaker do now if the failure strikes again. In other words, you were not sure whether the the recommend or the strategy that the speaker has worked out based on life experience has really provided you a takeaway. That's the kind of question that I had in mind, and which again I agree with you. Your questioning was appropriate. That there could have been, and this will get reinforced further in the next evaluators' comments as well. But I just want to call that out, that it was a nice observation. And you also commented on the eye contact, which I agree with, and you gave a good summary. In fact, all of you gave a summary, and I noticed that as a pattern, practically most of you, I'm saying most of you because there's one exception, and I'll talk about that. Most of you, until the green flag was shown, you were talking about what you loved in the speech or what you appreciated in the speech. And the moment the green flag came in, most of you shifted to the recommendations, which is a very nice strategy. And then after the yellow flag, closing down the entire thing was something which was very well done. Now, moving to Lohita. So, Lohita, I would recommend that you keep your camera position in such a way that you don't have to look down. It's almost as if the camera is at a much lower level than your eye. And therefore, when you look at the camera, it appears as if you're looking down. So position your camera appropriately. That is one thing. Second is gestures. You did not have enough gestures. I think you can try out some gestures which will help. Most of the gestures that I saw in you was just, the hands being together or just, a couple of inches apart. It was a very redundant, not redundant. It was like repeated. This particular gesture in terms of just using your hands was repeated quite often. Be a little more expansive in terms of your gestures, right? That's one recommendation. And you use some very nice adjectives again for the speech. For example, you said it was mesmerizing speech and you were left speechless after listening to the speech. Those were very powerful kind of ways of communicating this. And you said there are no mistakes that I can point out. My suggestion is, avoid using mistakes. We are not here to find mistakes. Then you corrected yourself immediately and said suggestions, and you went ahead with that. While giving suggestions as well, you were speaking in the third person, as if she can use this or if she can do this. So you must remember that the speaker is here in the audience with us. So either use first person or second person, like directly talk to the speaker and say, I suggest that you do this, or even you can say, I would do it this way, rather than she should do it this way. That's a kind of, it provides some distancing between you and the audience. So try and avoid this third person. This is just my suggestion, okay? If it otherwise has worked for you, and if you're convinced, I am nobody to come and change that. This is just my observation and my suggestion to you, right? And the way you talked about flawless, fluent, amazingly drafted speech, all those were very nice usages of the English language. And a lot of people get stuck with just saying good or great or something like that. They find it very difficult to go beyond the good or the great. But I found that you had very imaginative synonyms to use in terms of appreciating the quality of the speech. That was very good. And in your case, I found that you finished the speech at the green card itself. Your evaluation got completed when the green card was still being shown. And my feeling is in a contest, if you really want to score high, you have that extra time. You must not use less time than what is allocated. Try and see if you can think of some more analytical points, or if you're not able to think of some points, even demonstrate what you are suggesting. Some suggestions that you have given, you can demonstrate, but do not stop your speech at the green card. That's one recommendation that I have for you. And you have a couple of words that are, repeated, like I'm also using that now. The and I mean are two phrases that you may like to keep a watch on. I noticed quite frequent usage of that. And I would normally point it out if it is 2 or 3, but in this case, it was more than 2 or 3. So I just thought I'll just point that out to you and be a little more conscious about it. So the last speaker. Can we go to the last evaluator, Shivlila? I hope the pace at which I'm providing and the detailing I'm providing is what all of you people are expecting. If there is a difference between what you expected and what I'm delivering, let me know and I can suitably adjust accordingly. Yeah. So let's go with Shivlila. Cheerful greeting. That was very good. Particularly when you're the last evaluator coming in, by then people have heard so many evaluations. There is normally a certain sense of when is it going to end coming in, particularly when you know that you are the last evaluator, people say, hey, 2 more minutes and we're done with this. So to a great extent, it is very important to start off on a very cheerful, chirpy kind of note. And you did that. You had a cheerful greeting. You also thanked the speaker. And though it took away precious maybe 10 seconds, it was well worth it. I would say that as a last evaluator, that was really very well done. And you said at one point, evaluating Janvi. And then you immediately corrected yourself to evaluating the speech. Remember that we are here to only evaluate the speech. We are not evaluating the speaker because we don't keep in mind any past performance of the speaker or what you otherwise know about the speaker. None of those things come to focus. We are only evaluating the performance of the day, not the performer. So that confusion, if it is there in your mind, just be very clear that you are not evaluating Janvi, you are evaluating the speech that Janvi delivered today, right? And you nicely pointed out about the visualization effect of paper getting thrown at the face. That was very well done. And I also noticed that you could make it a little more conversational. It was almost like a prepared speech getting delivered with a message rather than making it conversational. So you may like to make it a little, think that you are talking to a friend and how do you communicate whatever you heard to one friend, right? And I think that goes very well as compared to giving it like a prepared speech being delivered with a clear kind of a message, okay? And you also have a scope for a little more voice modulation. You had a standard tone throughout. There could potentially be some more. For example, you pointed out that the speaker should use different voice when she's talking to the father, to Joy, to husband, and so on and so forth. You recommended that, but in your own evaluation also, if you implement that, that will be really good, right? So those then, guys, were my 2 cents in terms of my observations, and open now for any questions.
Hello, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar. It was really amazing that I heard your evaluation of the evaluators. That's really amazing. Excuse me. I have 2 questions, maybe queries for clarification. Recently, when I have attended one more education session, they said a metaphorical example of let the good be said in mic, let the bad be said in ears. So when we are giving commendations, they asked us to have a third person's approach. Like, let's say, if we notice, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar have given this beautiful thing. And when we are coming to recommendations, Padma Kumar, it was really amazing, but if you could have done this. So like this, they have mentioned. So what is your take on this point?
So there are, as you said, multiple ways in which people approach this whole thing. If it is really a very critical kind of an input that is being provided, then it helps to make it generalized. And if it is something that you're praising, it makes it very good to personalize or directly address the speaker. I agree with that approach. But when it comes to Toastmaster evaluations, since we are evaluating a speaker who has just delivered a speech and who is sitting right there in front of us, unless it is called for, I would avoid using the third person approach.
Okay.
I would be very sensitive. I would be very careful not to hurt the feelings of the speaker. but nonetheless, I will not make it third party that he should have done this or she should have done this. That is almost like keeping the speaker in front of you and then still complaining to the audience that he or she did not do this, right? That's the way I perceive it. That's the way I perceive it.
Okay. One follow-up question. As you have very well mentioned, there are a couple of judges and there could be a mixture of, opinions about because when I was actually giving my evaluation in my previous contest, there the judges have given me a small feedback saying that, Omkara, you could have announced your approach so that I will not be searching for when you have started your recommendations, when you have started your commendations. So what do you think about it? Because we will not be having one single judge or two judges. So what would you suggest there?
Yeah, so I think I slightly covered that in the thing as well, that some judges expect that you tell them what method you're going to use, structuring method that you're going to use, and then give the speech. I am not one of them. As a judge, if I sit down, I don't necessarily mark up or mark down a person just because he or she has not told me what structure they're going to use. I would, however, expect the evaluation to be nicely structured so that I don't get confused when you are moving from your the commendations to the recommendations. If it is kind of interspersed and one recommendation, then another commendation, then recommendation, I get confused as to are you recommending or commending, then it's a valid point. But to the extent that you're able to bucketize appropriately, even if you don't tell me that now, listen, I'm going to talk about commendations and then commendations. Now I'm going to talk about recommendations. I for one, am not a votary for that. There's only one exception. When you give the summary, please say to summarize, because there are 15 points that are given to summary. And if for some reason a judge feels you didn't summarize, I mean, you will end up losing that 15 points. So sometimes they look for these things. So to sum it all up, or in summary, or in conclusion. So I would recommend that to win the contest, it's good to call out when you're summarizing.
What would be the proper mixture of commendations and recommendations? A ratio, anything that you would suggest? This would be my last question.
Yeah, so I mean, see, there is no standard kind of a ratio or anything like that. But if you find that you have noted down a lot of commendations and a lot of recommendations, and if you had to choose, first is to pick and prioritize. Not any two, not any three, but you have to first apply your mind as to what are those points that are worth talking about. And this again, in a contest scenario, has a certain nuance that if you are, let's say, the first evaluator, the first in the list, then nobody else had spoken before you, and therefore whatever you say will be new to the audience, right? But if you are the seventh evaluator, then you also have to add one more factor. Though these are the obvious commendations, these are the obvious recommendations, are there anything less obvious but impactful that I can fit into my evaluation?
Okay.
Because you are the seventh evaluator, and most likely the six evaluators may have covered most of the obvious ones. So if you come later in the list, then it's good to also look for some unique point that you can highlight. But otherwise, in terms of your question, normally we have time only for about 3 commendations, 2 recommendations, and 1 highlight in terms of either a crowning glory or a serious challenge. I mean, some people like to give a challenge to the speaker, saying the difference between a recommendation and a challenge is recommendation is commenting on something that the speaker actually did, okay, or said. Okay. Challenge is something that the speaker did not do in this speech, but you would like to see that done. I'll give you an example so that makes it clear. I listened to a speech from one person, and it was a very nice speech, very emotional speech, very nice speech. And so as a challenge, I told him, is it possible that in a 5 to 7 minute speech, you are able to evoke 2 diametrically opposite emotions in the listener? Meaning that can you generate an emotion of total happiness and total sadness as a part of your speech, or total elation and total feeling of down in the dumps? Can you bring in two emotion? So this was a challenge to an accomplished speaker, because he was acing the speech as far as the other aspects are concerned. So after commenting about all that, this was my challenge, saying, can you bring in two diametrically opposite emotions in the minds of the listeners in your speech? So some people believe in giving those challenges, which is a good approach. Some people talk about the crowning glory to me in your speech was this, which is really that point which is top, really fantastic. So you can choose any one this thing. So long answer short. Normally we have time only for 3 recommendations, 2 recommendations, and 1 either challenge or crowning glory.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Omkara. So as clock is ticking towards the agenda, we want to bypass this question and answer segment. And I request all the audience who are having these questions, please reach out to the PQ team, and they will get your questions answered. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar, for this amazing session and these quick hacks. And now let us quickly go to our minute taker. In this insightful session, we don't want to miss you any point. So today we are having a minute taker who is going to mention some major points. So put your hands together to invite Toastmaster Neha, the minute taker for today's session. Toastmaster Neha, over to you. Toastmaster Neha, you are on.
Yeah, okay, now I'm unmuted. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
All right. Can I also see timer cards are on so that I can start on the highlights?
Yes. Timer, could you please share the screen?
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. I'm Toastmaster Neha Verma and the minute note taker of the session. I would like to share the highlights from our master evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar. So starting with the question and answer, it is challenge yourself, learn and keep practicing. More than strategy, intention is the key. Evaluation should be able to benefit the speaker. There were some general points what was shared by our GTM Padma Kumar. That is, there are 5 different ways which can be used in any evaluation. Number 1 is whitewashing the evaluation, where everything appears perfect to the evaluator. Second is blackballing, where everything seems as like didn't work well. Third is parroting the evaluation, which is like covering whatever is covered in the speaker's speech. Playing to the gallery, that is like when you want to impress the judge by using the good English uses and it's not having the right intention for speaker benefits. And the last one is the balanced approach, which is advised by our GTM Padma Kumar sir. That is fair balanced approach. All the evaluator in this session took the fair balanced approach. There were 3 different methods that were discussed. First is CRC, starting with what did go well, and then the recommendation to the speaker so that speaker can improve on it, and C stands for the conclusion, concluding the speech on the good note so that speaker is always motivated to come and improve from this next feedback. Second method is glow point and grow point. You glowed when you did all these things, and you will start growing if you start doing this thing. Very nice method that was discussed by GTM Padma Kumar. Third approach, which is advisable approach, is hero approach, where H stands for heard and saw. What I heard, what I saw in your speech. E stands for emotions, how I felt after hearing to your speech. And R stands for recommendation. What are my good recommendations for the speech? And O stands for the review. Here in this approach and method, it is also advised that recommendation always doesn't necessarily to be a feedback. It could be alternative also that can be advised to the speaker for the benefit. Starting with the evaluation, our GTM Padma Kumar sir has given very nice evaluation points to all our evaluators of the session. and appreciated all the evaluators for establishing the nice connection with the speaker's speech, and also shared some nice recommendation which can benefit all of us here in the session. Recommendation for the evaluators: emphasize on the purpose. Repetition of speaker key point will add value to the evaluation. As an evaluator, you may work on your Zoom presence to work on your body language. Importance of body language and tone, which takes high importance in any speech evaluation. Also, time management. So what GTM liked in all the evaluation was that when the green card was shown, till then the appreciation points were discussed. Recommendation started with the yellow point, and then it was concluded with the red slide. So that's a very good advice. Thank you, GTM, RGTM Padam Kumar. Over to you, moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neha. We have posted the feedback link in the chat box. I request all of the audience and guests who are presented over here to share your valuable feedback. Now, I would like to invite Division and Director Toastmaster Deepalika to take this forward and address the gathering. On seeing this, I am Toastmaster Subhash, signing off as a moderator. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepalika. Toastmaster Deepalika, you are on mute.
Thank you so much, host, for unmuting me. Thank you is a very small word, but it holds a very deep meaning when said with all your heart. I'm here to thank each one of you who have extended your support to the Division EFGHN initiative of Evaluation Mastery throughout the month. There have been participants who helped us, who helped to organize the whole contest, and there have been the ones who actually ran the show. I would request the Zoom master to please present his screen. The first person whom I would like to thank is the test speaker. Zoom master, can you please switch on to the slide? Thank you so much. Our test speaker, Toastmaster Jahnavi, thank you so much for delivering a fantastic speech on which you got so many evaluations. I hope you will take all the points positively and apply it to your next speeches. We had the next role player, our Zoom master, Toastmaster Yash. Thank you for being there at the back, switching between the slides, switching between all the faces, highlighting them whenever required. Thank you so much. And next role player was Toastmaster Neha, who was a sergeant at arms. Thank you, Toastmaster Neha, for opening on time and laying down the ground rules. Next was Toastmaster Sapna as the timer. Thank you for showing us and keeping us on time. It is very much required that we start and end on time. Thank you so much for that. Toastmaster Subhash as the MC, a flawless, for conducting the whole evaluation mastery in a very flawless manner. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Subhash. Toastmaster Pawan as the first evaluator. I hope all of the evaluators have ample of knowledge now who can then apply it to their contests coming forward. Thank you so much for participating. Toastmaster Santoshi as our evaluator too. Thank you for participating in the evaluation mastery. Toastmaster Bhavini as the third evaluator. Thank you for participating, Bhavini. Toastmaster Lohita, thank you for participating in our evaluation mastery. Toastmaster Shivleela as the evaluator 5. Thank you for participating, and a big thanks to all the evaluators who gave amazing evaluations. There is so much to learn for each one of us and apply it not only to contests but our club meetings as well. Toastmaster Neha as the minute taker. Thank you for giving a crisp summary of the whole session in just a few minutes. And our master evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar. I cannot thank you enough for all the techniques that you have shared. There were something that I have heard for the very first time, and I'm surely going to apply it in my evaluations in Toastmasters as well as in my professional and personal life. Thank you so much, Zoom Master. It is said that all good things come to an end eventually, but the experience awaits. I hope that there are many more experiences coming forward in our way through the teams that we have, the PQPR and the CG team. We will be having many more initiatives throughout the year. I thank all the members of the PQ team for arranging all these sessions throughout, organizing them in the perfect manner possible. Thank you so much for being there for us, and thank you so much for the efforts that you have put in. I would now like to hand over to the MC, Toastmaster Santosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipalika. Sorry to say this, my name is Toastmaster Subhash. So
Sorry,
now,
Toastmaster Subhash.
yes. Now, I quickly hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Pavani. Toastmaster Pavani, over to you.
Toastmaster Lasya.
Okay.
All right.
Toastmaster Lasya. Oh.
Thank you everyone for joining. Let me quickly acknowledge the presence of our Club Growth Director, Toastmaster Sandeep, our Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Joy. I request Distinguished Toastmaster Joy to speak a few words on the occasion of our last episode at Evaluation Mastery. Over to you, Toastmaster Joy.
Yeah, hi. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Hello. Okay, lovely. Today's session was like taking a deep dive into a gold mine. After 5 years of my Toastmasters journey, a lot of times we start thinking that we know a lot, but listening to Padma sir was like peeping into a straight gold mine. I got so many golden nuggets listening to him. And so were all the other sessions, very well organized. PQ team, Toastmaster Lasya and the entire team, you have really done a fabulous job with around 250 members approximately attending live and many more watching it. And most of the questions which members had are already answered through all the amazing educators and trainers that you got. So it was a fabulous effort. And I think we would again try to do something like this again for the next 2 contests, which are coming, the ISC and Table Topic. And I'm seriously looking forward for it. I would like to thank each and every one of you for supporting this particular moment, especially the educators who came forward. Today was really mind-blowing. I don't even know what to say. And I'm sorry I'm traveling. I'm going for my COVID shot. That's the reason I'm in my car. But still, I could not miss this session, and that's the reason I was here. And nothing more to say. It was a fab job done. And all the role players, I might not name you, but each and every one of you have done a great to the entire district. So thank you. God bless you. And over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Joy, for taking time and joining this session while driving. Now, I don't think you need to join this anymore. Okay, bye. But that being said, I would like to present my vote of thanks. To begin with, this event wouldn't have been possible without my PQ managers and PQ area focus. Let me quickly acknowledge by taking their names. Program Quality Manager Division E, Toastmaster Sirisha. Program Quality Manager Division G, Ujjwala. Program Quality Manager Division N, Toastmaster Yash. Program Quality Manager Division F, Harika. Program Quality Manager Division H, Manish. But that being said, the key role players from area focus team were Toastmaster Subhash, Toastmaster Srikanth, and Toastmaster Pavani. The entire 5 episodes were bigger, brighter, and bodacious because of your efforts. It wouldn't be fair enough if I didn't thank our PR team who made these bright posters and attracted 250 members throughout the session. This is a huge event. I would also like to thank the educators to begin with, Distinguished Toastmaster Padma Kumar, Distinguished Toastmaster Pavan Sridharam, Distinguished Toastmaster Lasya Madhireddy, Toastmaster Fani Bhagwan, Distinguished Toastmaster Fani Bhagwan, Toastmaster Pankaja, and our very own 3 champions from various districts, District 92, District 98, and District 41. I would also like to thank all the role players who made this possible. I would also like to thank one team which has always been and pushed me to do this. That is our division directors. Without their immense support, we wouldn't have been conducting this. Thank you all the division directors who made this possible and also took up roles sometimes when we did have people. This event is not possible without all of them. How would I not thank the audience who came and witnessed witnessed such great learnings and also are still watching these on YouTube. We almost have close to 100 views on each video for every episode. Thank you everyone for taking these learnings seriously. Your views will help us do even more sessions and come back to you with amazing quality. So this is Lasya, Program Quality Chair, Division EFGHN, thanking all of you from the bottom of my heart for making this happen. Signing off, and over to you, Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lasya. It was indeed an informative yet interesting session. I'm sure we all had a great time. Moreover, we did learn a lot. So, and I here declare the session over, and thank you again, each and everyone, for joining. Thank you.